Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl Butler, and you're listening to the Mighty Mommies Quick and Dirty Tips podcast, which will help make your life as a parent a little bit easier and a lot more fun. Welcome! Today's episode is number 384, 5 clever new uses for stuffed animals, because if your house is anything like mine, you've got quite a collection as well. When you have kids, you have stuff. It's just part of the equation. Without mentioning the hundreds of incidentals that families collect along the way, there are some items that hold much more meaning than the must-haves, such as extra blankies, one too many Lego sets, and cute little outfits that they outgrow in between diaper changes. Then there are favorite bedtime books, that perfect stroller, and of course those delightful furry friends that bring so much comfort and joy. No, not a puppy or a sweet little kitten. I'm talking about those special stuffed animals that our kids become attached to and simply can't live without. Did you have a favorite plush pal that you were utterly fond of? I sure did. Mine was a beautiful blue bear who I lovingly named Boo Boo Bear. I would take that teddy bear everywhere I could, to the playground, my Nana's house, the grocery store, and always with me in the car. I never wanted to be without him. Of course, I didn't just have Boo Boo Bear. I practically had a little zoo of stuffed animals. Once I started collecting them, I wasn't about to part with them. Believe me, my mother tried to persuade me to pare down, donate them, say goodbye to the ones who had fluff popping out of the seams. But I always rationalized, at the ripe old age of 6, as to why I absolutely could not live without them. I was the oldest of 5 kids, so you can imagine how many stuffed animals ended up in my childhood home. My mother was a trooper, and only when we weren't looking, I learned from the best, did she manage to figure out how to donate, a few at a time. If your family has one too many adorable stuffed animals collecting dust on a bookshelf or two, don't despair. Today, Mighty Mommy shares 5 clever ways to make great use of your stuffed collection that are sure to bring a smile to your entire family's faces. Tip number 1. Decorate for holidays and special occasions. You can imagine that with 8 kids, we've collected countless stuffed animals through the years. Once my kids began to outgrow their favorite furry pals, I just didn't have the heart to make them part with all of them, although I didn't forget how my mother cared for all ours. So I decided to keep a small handful that I use strictly for decorating. During the Christmas holiday season, I take out several and doll them up with fun Santa hats and red velvet scarves and plop them on cute sleighs or arrange them in bookshelves or on the mantel. They are quite festive and they always add a warm and cozy touch during the holidays. Tip number 2. Donate to Project Smile. We live in New England. So I was so happy to learn about Project Smile, a federally tax-exempt nonprofit organization which donates stuffed animals, coloring books and crayons, and children's reading books for police officers, firefighters, and paramedics to give to children. The goal of Project Smile is to provide all emergency responders throughout New England and eventually throughout the nation with a continual supply of comfort items to help ease the pain and fear of traumatized children. Very few police officers or firefighters have anything to give to a child. So, please help Project Smile reach its goal of collecting enough stuffed animals for every emergency responder in New England to always have one to give to a hurting child. Since October of 2003, Project Smile has donated more than 36,000 stuffed animals and works with 195 police and fire departments, both locally and throughout New England. This is such a great way to get your kids involved in the wonderful concept of giving back to those who are less fortunate. Tip number 3. Tuck away for college graduations or wedding showers. Sometimes a blast from the past is just what we need to add an extra personal touch to a very special occasion. I started a tradition for my college kids by saving one of their favorite stuffed animals for a surprise gift when they left for their freshman year in college. Once I knew where they would be attending college, I'd buy a t-shirt or a hat from their soon-to-be college, and then I'd dress up the stuffed animal with these items. I either tucked the dressed-up animal away in their items to be moved to campus, or I mailed it to them for their very first week when they were away at school. It always brings big smiles, and sometimes a few tears. This is also a fun idea for one of your children's wedding showers or a baby shower. Best part is that you only have to save 1 or 2 stuffed animals to do this, and it's a tradition that your kids can pass down to theirs. Tip number 4. Make a puppet with those stuffed animals. Hey, turn your stuffed animals into a super fun and practical puppet. You'll need just a stuffed animal, an old glove, and a pair of scissors. Locate the bottom or the back seam of the stuffed animal opposite the head. Then rip open the stitches by pushing the pointed end of your scissors into the seam and cutting through each thread. Remove the cut threads by pulling them all out by hand. Then trim any threads that are still attached with your scissors. Open the seam and pull out enough stuffing so that a hand can be inserted into the stuffed animal tummy and the limbs. Then push the glove into the cavity of the stuffed animal and align the fingers and thumb where you want to have control of the stuffed animal puppet, making sure to align the cuff of the glove with the bottom edge of the opening in the stuffed animal. Sew the glove cuff and the stuffed animal opening together, and then just tie off the thread. Weave in the end of the thread and trim. These are so much fun, and you can do them with literally any stuffed animal that you have. And tip number 5, make an animal beanbag chair. One piece of fun furniture we always had in our house were beanbag chairs, and actually we still do have a couple. The upside was that they were comfy, cool to sit on, and easy to transport around the house. The downside? Those little polyfill beanbag materials would always end up all over the house, despite the super-duper zipper protection encasement. Solution? Empty the polyfill beads, bye-bye, and refill with the dozens of extra stuffed animals and extra pillows that you have lying around your house. Not only does this provide a nice storage home for your stuffed animals and dolls, if your kids end up missing one, all you have to do is unzip the bag, take one out, zip them back up, and you're done. How do you make use of your extra stuffed animals? Share your thoughts in the comments section at quickanddirtytips.com/mighty-mommy, or post your ideas on the Mighty Mommy Facebook page. And you can also email me at mommy@quickanddirtytips.com. And I hope you'll visit my family-friendly boards at pinterest.com/mightymommyqdt. Wishing you lots of fun with your kids and their stuffed animals. Thanks for listening, and until next time, happy parenting.